Welcome to BT10, and I am starting off strong with a Beelzemon loop deck profile. And it's not a crazy loop, but it can get crazy, and it's just insane. Let's get down right into it. So we're doing the Pagumon from BT2. When attacking, you can trash a card from the top of your deck. This is going to be key because a lot of the cards here is when you attack, you're trashing, like the new Ballmon, and you want to be able to trash from your deck because this whole gimmick is to trash from your deck, and then it activates a lot of effects. So we're doing 4 of the Pagumons, really good Digi Egg. Put those on the side. Then we're doing 4 of the BT2 Impmons. This one on deletion. Trash the top 3 cards of your deck. Pretty self-explanatory. Next, I'm running 4 of the EX2 Impmons. This one has multiple of effects, right? So first off, you have the inherit. If it's on top of if a Beelzemon is on it, it gets 2000 AP, which is really great. All the Beelzemons end up jumping to 13k. Blast mode ends up jumping up to 18k. The on play for this, you reveal 4 cards. You get a card with Beelzemon in its name, so this does qualify for blast mode. And then you can get a Tamer Ian Mako, which is really good. So this is good for like early game. If you really need a Tamer, or even late game if you need a Beelzemon, you can just drop the Impmon, and it's pretty good. So that's the other 4 Impmons that we're running with. And then the last of the rookies, I'm running 4 of the BT6 Impmon. This one on play, trash 1 card from your hand, and you can get 1 card with 7 Great Demon Lords or 3 Musketeers from the trash to your hand. So this is my rookie lineup, 12 rookies. So I said nothing more, nothing less. I know some people like to run memory blockers or Psychmons, but I really want to stick to just kind of the Beelzemon stuff, and I want to have it flow really, really well, which is why I'm not running anything else, any other rookies. Moving on to the champions, what is here? We are running 4 of the Dobermons. Dobermon is really good. It's essentially, honestly, it's really Impmon, but just in champion form, and even better because now you can get a Digimon or a Tamer card from your trash on deletion, which is really nice, especially if you trash your Ian and Mako, or if you trash any Beelzemon or any card that you need. This is just fantastic because it allows you to kind of go to your trash and get stuff back, right? So on deletion, trash the top 3 cards of your deck, then return 1 purple Digimon or purple Tamer card. Now, keep in mind, if I don't run Death X here, but if I ran Death X, it deletes Death X is in trash. Now you can pick up Death X because it's considered a purple Digimon as well. Next, the best champions to run in this deck right now is the Promo Wizardmon. I love this card. This card is what's going to make your loop kind of happen. So when this card is trashed from the deck, you gain 1 memory. That's all you're doing here. All you're doing is just trashing from your deck. So when you trash, sometimes you get to trash like 2 Wizardmons in 1 turn. Now you gain 2 memory. It's crazy. I love it. When attacking, this is the thing here. This is what's going to make the loop kind of work here. When attacking, you may reveal 1 purple card from your hand and place it on the top of your deck when attacking. So now we go back to the Pagumon, right? So even if your ultimate can't trash, now you got Pagumon, right? So you'll do Wizardmon's effect. You place a card. You can place Impmon, for example here. You place Impmon on the top of your deck, and then you trash it with Pagumon, and now Impmon's effect activates and you trash more cards. Really busted. That's the other effect that I really didn't talk about with the Impmon here. When it gets trashed, besides its own effect, so when this gets trashed from the deck, you can trash up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. So if you end up trashing the Impmon, like I said, now you can trash an additional 3, so long as it didn't get trashed by its own effect. So you could see how this can get very, very nasty really, really quick. So we're running 4 of the Wizardmons because you need them. Next, I run 1 copy of the Digimon. Good for retaliation. So if your opponent gets a big board out, not a big board, but if your opponent has a Bloom Lord, for example, you have an Impmon. Digivolve into a Digimon, swing into the Bloom Lord, and now you kind of get rid of it, right? So it helps you get rid of big bodies on the board early on in the game. Just one copy because I do want it to make room for just one hybrid. There have been some games where I need to close out and I can't. And the reason I'm using one hybrid is because you have a lot of ways to get this back. By a lot of ways, I really mean your Doberman here, right? So even if your hybrid gets trashed, there's other ways of getting it, such as Doberman. So one is okay. So this is my champion lineup. I am running 10. That's usually the number that I go with. So those are the champions. And then next, onto the ultimates, we are running 4 of the new Beelzemon. This is a must. It's really, really nice. So when attacking, you may trash up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. So another card that helps you trash. On deletion, if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, you can play 1 Beelzemon from the trash without paying its memory cost. Do you know how busted that is? This is crazy. Because even in the early game, right, you have, let's say you have 7 cards in the trash. You swing with the Beelzemon, you trash for 3. He gets deleted, you have a Beelzemon in the trash, now it gets played for free. And even if it doesn't, get popped, you can just keep chipping. Like, I'm just gonna keep chipping because I don't care. I want it to get deleted, and at the same time, it's as you're attacking, you're trashing. So if it doesn't die, you're gonna keep trashing, and eventually it'll die. Another thing too is what's cool is you can swing into your opponent's Digimon if you want to actually get it popped. So Beelzemon is really, really disgusting. Another way of kind of, besides warping from Impmon to Beelzemon, this is another way to get a Beelzemon out, which is really, really clutch. Next, I am running 3 of the Neo Devimon. For this format, this is a must. A really, really bad matchup is Cross Wars, because Cross Wars is so explosive and fast. I did live stream and I got clapped. I got clapped by Cross Wars just because this deck is good, but it still needs time to kind of get its trash going. So Neo Devimon does help you kind of mitigate that, especially if you're going against Cross Wars, because on your opponent's turn, every time they play a Tamer, you get 3 memory. So, and as you know, Cross Wars is all nothing but Tamers. So every time they play a Tamer, it's going to cost them an additional 3. So very, very good card. That's why I'm running 3. On the opponent's turn, when an opponent's Tamer suspends, you gain a memory. So this also kind of will help you break that loop that Cross Wars has, where they kind of swing with X4, get deleted, unsuspend, and boom again. Because every time they suspend, you're going to get that memory as an inherit. You could definitely run 4 of these. I, however, am running just 1 of the Skull Satamon. Multiple reasons. So when you Digivolve, you also trash from your deck. Then you can return 1 card with Demon Lord and its traits from the trash to your hand. Inherit here is when a card is trash, you gain 1 memory. Really, I have this here just in case I don't have Doberman and I need a Beelzemon in my hand. This is another way of getting cards from the trash back to your hand. And the fact that when you Digivolve, you trash kind of helps as well. And the inherit, obviously, you can never go wrong with gaining memory. So that is my ultimate lineup there. Really, really nice. We'll get into some combos in a bit. Moving on to the Megas, we have, of course, the 4 of the EX2 Beelzemon. The card is busted. I love this card so much. So when this card gets trashed from your deck, you can play an Impmon from the trash. So you can kind of see there, and we could kind of get into it, right? So let's say, I have, Impmons, these Impmons in my trash, and you have, I don't know, whatever you want to do. Let's say you have 1 Beelzemon in your hand, you have Skull Satamon, and then so this is your hand, this is your hand, this is your field, this is your trash, and at the same time we have Wizardmon underneath, because that's where the combo comes in, and the Pagumon. So now here you're gonna swing, and then when attacking, you can activate Wizardmon's effect first. Reveal a purple card from your hand to your deck. You reveal the Beelzemon. It's going to go on top of your deck. And now you're still attacking. You're going to trash it with Pagumon. It gets trashed. And now this Beelzemon will play this Impmon. Then you can trash a card off of Hitmon's on-play effect and get this Beelzemon back into your hand. And if he didn't die, now you can go ahead and Digivolve, and now you're trashing. So that's a little loop that I kind of found that's really, really disgusting. That's a way to kind of just keep recycling. As long as you have some of these Hitmons in the trash and you have this Beelzemon, you can just keep doing that loop and kind of keep playing them. So it's very, very explosive and absolutely love it. So keep that little that little loop in mind. So do that. And then if you play let's say you play the other Hitmon, they have a level 4 out. Now you can warp if you have this into your hand, because you're going to have 10 in the trash. And this is why I still run this Beelzemon, although it doesn't have any inherits from trashing from the deck. It is still really, really nice. You can warp from it for an Hitmon as long as you have 10 cards in your trash, and then on Digivolution you delete a level 4 or lower. If this is in the trash, for example, and then you want the other one, or you have 2 of these in your hand, you do the whole loop thing with the Wizardmon, and then you're attacking. Now you put this at the bottom, trash it, play the Hitmon, trash another card, and then you can get this Beelzemon into your hand, and you can end up warping at the end of the turn if you need to. So it's pretty nice. And I'm running one of the new Beelzemon. I'm not too sure on this one. I'm not completely sold on it, but it does have an on-play effect and a when digivolving effect. And when you digivolve or when you trash, you can trash the top 3 cards of your deck. It says you may. So another thing too is, keep in mind with these wordings is, if it says you may, you don't have to. If it does not say you may, then you have to. So if you're gonna deck out, you play it, you don't have to use this effect, FYI. Or here in this case, you have 7 cards in the trash, you digivolve for 3, and now for every 10 cards in your trash, you can delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower. So pretty good. I think late game this would be good, especially when you have like 20 cards in the trash. You go ahead and play this or digivolve into it. You can kind of cleared wide boards. But other than that, it does have an inherent end of attack once per turn. For every 10 cards in your trash, you do gain 1 memory. So there you go. I am running 7 Megas, and they're all Beelzemons. And then of course for level 7s, you already know we gotta run a blast mode. I'm running 3. I think 4 is too much, 2 is too little. You want to see 3. I think 3 is kind of the sweet spot. Reason being is because when this card is trashed from your deck, delete one of your opponent's Digimon level 4. Then when digivolving, you delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level. Keep in mind, if there is 2 level 5s, 2 level 4s, if there's 3 level 4s, if there's 5 level 4s, you digivolve and they all get cleared because they're all the highest level. So really, really nice. And then late game is just, this card is just busted. For every 10 cards in your trash, you get security attack +1. So eventually you can get up to where you're checking for 3 with 1 swing. And if you need it, then you just go back and you just go hybrid for game if you do have the memory to do so. So 3 of the blast modes. And then Tamers, we're running the Ai and Mako. So there we go, just 4 of those. Such good combos that come off with this, and this card by itself is just good, in this deck at least. Every time you attack, you can suspend the Tamer to trash 1 card from your deck. So it makes this card good. Now if a Beelzemon is attacking, you use this effect, and if you have a blast mode in the trash, you can digivolve it from trash for a cost of 3. Right, so even if you pass turn, now you're popping off blast mode's effect, and then at the end of the attack, for every 10 cards you gain a memory, so 1 or 2, don't matter, you could end up crippling your opponent and leaving them at 1 memory. So that is a combo there with the Ai and Mako. And what's good here is this Ai and Mako, if you have your Wizardmon, you got your, you have your ultimate. If you do not have any way of trashing, if you do not have Pagumon, you got your Tamer. There you go. There's your little loop again. where you could swing with the Neo Devimon, tap Iron Mako, do Wizardmon's effect, reveal a card, trash it, and boom, there we go. So that is another way you could also do it if you do not have a trashing card when you do attack. For options, we're running 6 total options. We're running 3, the Death Slingers. Death Slinger is really nice. So Death Slinger, when it gets trashed from your deck, you gain 1 memory. So now sometimes you'll actually end up trashing these 2. So now you're gaining 2 memories. It's pretty nice. 2 memory can help turn the tide around. Then during your main phase, you can delete one of your opponent's level 4 Digimon. For every 10 that you have in the trash, it increases it by 1 level. So now if you have 20 cards in the trash, you have a 4-cost Gaia Force or a Hell's Gate, right? Delete a level 6 or lower. So really nice card. And then the security is, it activates. So now a good combo with this, let's say you need 1 memory to I don't know, do whatever you need to, either go into Omega, warp into Beelzemon, or if you just want to play one of these and still have it be your turn and you're at 3. What you could do is, now we're going to go into that little combo that little loop, I should say. As long as you have Wizardmon underneath. If you do not have Pagumon, you have the Tamer. You can attack. You reveal a card. You reveal this, put it on top of your deck. This trashes it. And now this activates, and now you get a memory, go to 4. And now you can play it still being your turn. And if you do have another one, now you can play 2 at the same time, which I actually ended up doing when I went live today. I ended up playing these 2 and it was still my turn. So it was crazy. I popped 2 level 6s with those. And then the last 3 that I'm using is Mist Memory Boost. This is to help me make the deck faster, to trash stuff quicker, and it allows you to draw. And of course you delay and you get to memory. So if you don't know what it does, you trash 2 cards from the deck and then you draw 1. Keep in mind, this does activate all your when trashing abilities. So I know I already went over some combos, but I think one that I forgot to really talk about is we're just going to have our Iron Mako. We have our Wizardmon as a source. We have an ultimate, doesn't matter what ultimate. And then in our hand, you know, let's just say we have, you know, these 2 cards or whatever. Point is that you have your Blast Mode in your hand. Now, if you also want to get rid of a level 4, if it's a blocker, let's say you need to win, you need 1 more swing for game. So now you're going to swing for game. They have a blocker. You're going to activate Wizardmon's effect, place Blast Mode on top of your trash from Wizardmon's effect, suspend this to trash the Blast Mode, and now you can delete a level 4, and now you're clear to close the game out. But here is another combo that I do want to put out there. Let's say you don't have a Blast Mode in your trash, and this is your field right now. One thing you can do, you can swing with that Beelzemon. If this doesn't trash the Blast Mode, let's say it didn't trash the Blast Mode, boom, boom, trashes those. Maybe it trashed the Wizardmon. Now you got a memory, so now you're at 1. Doesn't matter. Or if you were at 2, now you go to 3. Then it's gonna matter, right? You'll use Wizardmon's effect. If you have Blast Mode in your hand, this allows you to put it in your trash, in a way. So now it's gonna go on top of your deck. You're tapping Iron Mako. Now the Wizardmon is gonna trash the Blast Mode. Blast Mode's effect is gonna pop off. You're gonna delete a level 4 or lower. And now Iron Mako's other ability kicks in, where you can Digivolve Beelzemon into a Blast Mode for a play cost of 3. The same Blast Mode you just trashed. And there you go. Now you're swinging for +2, +1, even if it's just 1. Now you're just popping off. You deleted a level 4, and then you deleted the highest play cost all in the same turn. So it's pretty crazy. And of course, if you love this deck list, you're gonna love this one.